Hi there. My name is Gerald Green, and that can be a problem. It's a problem because I've got an English name with a Chinese face. I face this problem whenever I go to a shop and I ask the shopkeeper for something. He's Chinese. He talks to me in Chinese. I don't know to reply. The price goes up. One day I was on the telephone to a colleague of mine. His secretary came on the line. I said, his secretary asked, "Who's this calling?" I said, "This is Mr. Green." There was a long pause. And then she replied, "This is Miss Blue." So this is the kind of problem I'm faced with. But I want to tell you that the biggest problem I'm facing is right now. And I'm having to face this camera and there's no live audience in front of me. You know, that's the biggest problem a speaker faces. Because the only thing that we get is feedback from an audience. And when there's no audience, it's really tough. It's so mechanical. I have a son who is a radio DJ cum announcer. And I asked him for some tips because he seems to be doing things like this all the time. So he says, "Dad, you've got to be a little psycho and you've got to love the sound of your voice." So I guess I'll try to do that. To love the sound of my voice, Now, I was a marine engineer before I got into the speaking business and training business. This was some 19, 20 years ago. I was sailing the seas and my ship called into Singapore, and I was going to take my girlfriend out for a date. She lived in Johor Bahru, just near Singapore, for those who know the geography of the place. So I had to take a taxi across Singapore Island, across the causeway, into Johor Bahru. I was in my naval uniform, looking smart, handsome, almost as handsome as I'm now, head full of hair. And I went to take her out on a date. A little bit about her background. Her father was a doctor. In those days, if your father is a doctor, something to crow about. You live in a big bungalow, residential area, all the trimmings. My background, far from that. Came from a poor family, lived in Butler across the mainland in Penang. Plank house, asset roofing, 3131 Sumanya Road. I still remember the address. I didn't have fringe benefits like air conditioning, never mind air conditioning, no fans at home. Never had a refrigerator, never made use of the telephone much. So this is the scenario I want to give to you, no use of telephone. So picture me there in my girlfriend's home, waiting for her to get dressed. She was upstairs, getting dressed with her mother in the room, and all the rest of the family had gone out. I was seated in the hall down below, looking around me at all those oval-shaped photographs, faded photographs of grandparents, great-great-grandparents all staring out at me. Quiet residential area. All of a sudden that quiet was broken by the shrill ring of a telephone nearby. Cling! And I looked at the instrument. Cling! It continued. And I daren't pick that instrument up until I heard her say from upstairs, "Green, are you there?" I don't know why she calls me Green. But I daren't pick that phone up. Why? Fear flooded my mind. Who will it be? Will it be a Matsari? Will it be a lawyer? Will it be a doctor? Until she called several times, "Please answer the phone." And I had no option but to go there, pick up the receiver,